Kevin.
Thank you, Sean. I want to sort of follow up on that. The president in his tweet noted that China could certainly help on the North Korean issue. And when you unpack it through that lens and the fact that the USS Carl Vinson sort of steaming up toward the Sea of Japan, that may be an additional pressure to maybe get China to come to the table. Is that an accurate read of what the president would like to see them do to really apply the pressure on Pyongyang?
Well, I think the president and President Xi discussed this last week in Florida. China has had a very economic and political influence on North Korea over the years, and I think that when it comes to a shared national interest of ensuring that Korea doesn't obtain the nuclear capabilities to threaten any people, that is something that we should all agree upon, and something that he talked about with President Xi as an area of shared national interest. And I think that North Korea clearly understands where the United States stands on this, and I think he would welcome President Xi weighing in on this a little bit more. So I think that's, obviously wants to make it very clear to them and the rest of the country and the rest of the world what our position is.
Putting that strike carrier group in the Sea of Japan, in that region, is that also a messaging circumstance, or is that simply protective for our allies in Japan and Korea?
When a carrier group is several things. The forward deployment is deterrence, presence, it's prudent, but it does a lot of things. It ensures we have the strategic capabilities, and it gives the president options in the region. But I think when you see a carrier group steaming into an area like that, the forward presence of that is clearly, through almost every instance, a huge deterrence. So I think it serves multiple capabilities.
Last one, if I might, on infrastructure and taxes. The CEO is obviously very interested in trying to get something done as quickly as possible. Shovel-ready opportunities for people to get to work, and obviously a lowering of the taxes to enhance business expansion and perhaps even lower for middle-class Americans. But I'm wondering if there isn't a health care component that needs to happen before you can move forward on that.
So there's a few things. Obviously, getting health care, the repeal and replace done, would open the amount of money that we can use through the reconciliation process to have available to tax reform. That's why we made it very clear from the beginning that we thought health care should go first. It gives us a greater amount of resources to dedicate to tax reform. That being said, under every circumstance, you're talking months of getting tax reform done. That's one area that they discussed today. But one of the more important areas, and where I think you're seeing the president act continuously and decisively, is on the regulatory front. And that's one of the largest burdens that manufacturers, unions, entrepreneurs talk to the president about over and over again, is these stifling regulations of a variety of sort that prevent them, the coal industry, the manufacturing sector, the auto sector, over and over again are talking about the regulatory and the president's ability to take immediate action. I've mentioned it here before, but I mean, so far under the Congressional Review Act, this president signed 12 pieces of legislation. That compares to one that was signed in every administration prior to this year, total. And I think that shows the president's commitment to creating not just a better tax climate, which is going to take a few months, but an immediate regulatory impact that can help businesses break down the barriers, compete more, bring more jobs back to the United States.